I gonna pop, mother.
An illegal migrant who threatened to kill Nigel Farage in a string of TikTok videos has been jailed for 5 years. Fayaz Khan, who's 26, told the reform leader online that he would make him go pop, pop, pop before trying to enter the UK last October. He was given the long sentence this morning at Southwark Crown Court, and immediately after being given the jail term, launched into a barrage of insults and expletives at the Reform UK leader, who was sat in court watching. This morning we learned a number of things about the asylum seeker. He has claimed asylum in this country. He says that if he goes back to Afghanistan, his home nation, he would be at risk from the Taliban. That reasoning not yet decided on. That asylum claim still going through, but he will serve at least 40% of that 5 years in prison. Now, he was convicted last week by a jury at the same court, and during the trial, Nigel Farage had said how he was felt chilled, felt scared, felt as if his life was in danger from the series of threats that were posted online. One of the threats had been posted directed at a man known as Englishman Nigel, which the prosecution submitted was a clear reference by Khan, who's known as Madapasa online, to Nigel Farage. Now, this man was an influencer. He had tens of thousands of followers on TikTok, and that was taken into account. That was part of the reasoning why Nigel Farage believed this threat against his life would be carried out. The prosecutor, Peter Ratliff, told the court this morning that the threats were, quote, very far from an off-the-cuff instinctive reaction, and it was something that involved significant planning. It was not a death threat made in the heat of an online argument. Mr. Ratliff said that the defendant knew clearly who Nigel Farage was, having watched a video online in which Mr. Farage identified Khan's videos as an example of someone coming to the UK illegally. Now, Charles Royal, Mr. Khan's lawyer, who was mitigating the sentence, said that the Madapasa account was that of a character and that Khan did not mean to come across as a gangster. This morning in court, for the first time following the guilty verdict, Mr. Khan formally apologised to Nigel Farage and Mr. Farage's sister, who he said he would forcibly marry. The prosecution, of course, said marry in those terms was actually a sexual threat, not a genuine offer of marriage. Mrs. Justice Stein, the sentencing judge, branded the gun-inked thug, who has an AK-47 tattooed on his face and his arm, as a pseudo-gangster, but she ruled he did not meet the legal definition of a dangerous offender, which could have lifted that sentence even further beyond 5 years. Sentencing Khan this morning, she said, quote, using your own social media posts, Mr. Farage highlighted you as someone who did not have a legitimate claim to be in the UK. Your video was a threat to kill. Mr. Farage rightly understood that you were threatening to shoot him. Given the violent and aggressive nature of your threat, your serious intent to come to the UK and your access to firearms, Mr. Farage was rightly concerned for the safety of himself and his family. The judge ruled the threat had significant planning and continued, quote, being a member of parliament is a vitally important public duty. It is critical to having a vibrant and thriving democracy that the public have access to MPs. When anyone makes a threat to kill an MP, it is an exceptionally serious crime. As Khan was led away to the cells, he screamed, you want to expletive my life because you want to be Prime Minister. He is lying. Staring directly at Mr. Farage, he shouted, I am not guilty. I am not here because I want to kill him. I want to see my family. You're doing this to expletive my life. He was eventually led away while screaming to begin his 5-year sentence.
I'm happy with the sentence. I'm happy with the win. But I repeat, in 18 months' time, this violent criminal will be free on our streets. Thank you.
Mr. Farage, is it too dangerous to
Sorry.
reform
Well, he wants to be deported. He said he'd rather go back to Afghanistan. You know, I mean, that's what he wants to do, and we should satisfy that as soon as we can.
Mr. Farage, is it too dangerous to be a Reform MP? Is it too dangerous?
Well, I think, being a member of Parliament, as we've seen over the course of the last decade, can be dangerous for all sorts of people.
Do you agree with the court's finding that he wasn't a, quote, dangerous offender within the legal provisions?
Well, I think most of the 17 offences were drugs, dishonesty. Quite how you define dangerous, I don't know. But look, it was still a pretty harsh sentence, given many of the other things that we see in British courts.
Here's just one more. His reaction at the end levelled a barrage of swear words at you,
Yes.
of accusations against you.
Yes.
What was your reaction in court? Were you shaken by that in the same way you were shaken by
Well,
these
well,
videos?
well, in 18 months' time, when he's out free, and there's no order, there's no restraining order on him, I'll be very thoughtful again. Thank you, everybody.